What's up, y'all? Dadbot here. Welcome back to the Elden Ring walkthrough. In this episode, we're going to be taking on this region up at the very top of the Altus Plateau, known as the Shaded Castles. We're going to knock out this entire area. It is a bit of a lengthy dungeon. It's not as big as, the main Stormvale Castle or Rhea Lucaria Academy, but it is larger than some of these other forts that we come across, the smaller forts that we come across. So that's going to be the bulk of what we do in this episode. For starters, I'm going to warp right here to the Bridge of Iniquity, and we're going to go from there. So before we get started, just a few quick housekeeping items. Today, the newest patch 1.04 was released. So there's a couple things to discuss about this patch. First thing, and I think perhaps most prominently, is that colossal weapons were buffed. And I'm not so sure that they were buffed just in terms of raw damage, but they were buffed in a way such that their animation times were shortened. So you can get more attacks in a quicker period of time. They're not as clunky as they used to be. So you can chain your attacks much more quickly, which is very helpful. The grafted blade sword, which is actually something that I want to use a bit later once I have the strength for it, has been buffed. Just the raw damage output has been buffed, I believe. So that's good news. Nothing that we're using has been nerfed, which is also good news. And let me put a marker on my map. We're going to be heading up here, and then we're going to be going over here while I'm talking about all this. Another thing that's very good about this patch is that some of you have let me know that Fingerprint Vike, I believe his name is, he's an invader. He's supposed to invade you over here at the Church of Inhibition. I've heard from some of you that his invasion was bugged in your game and that he didn't invade you. I believe in this most recent patch that bug has been fixed. So if you've been having trouble getting him to invade you in your game, check back over at that Church of Inhibition, I think it's called. What is it called? Church of Inhibition, and see if he'll invade you now. He is important in Hyeta's quest. Hyeta is the lady who wants all the Shabiri grapes because Fingerprint Vike, he's the guy who gives you the last one that you need to advance her quest line. So if that invasion has been bugged on you, try it again and see if it works. Another thing, and FromSoft actually put in the patch notes that this was unintended, but you know how we have the cracked cerulean tier in our Physic Flask right now that negates MP consumption for a time? What happened was when they released this patch is they unintentionally reduced the duration that effect lasts. So it used to last, I think, 15 seconds, and now it lasts about 5. From Software has made it plainly stated that was an unintended consequence of this latest patch, and they do intend to fix it in a later minor patch. So it is going to be something that you're going to have to deal with for a short period of time until they do fix it. But really the main reason I'm using it for is just so I can have enough FP to get my summon in. And if we kill that, I'm talking right now, but you can kill that NPC, hostile NPC, not anything that has a quest, and you can get the loot from getting the kill there. So no worries of killing that NPC. There's no quest on there you're gonna mess up. But so just know that if you've been using that, for example, I mentioned in the last episode that tier in my that I currently have in my Physic Flask is very useful for casting Comet Azure in boss fights. So that's going to be nerfed for just a short period of time until From Software actually fixes that bug that they accidentally put in with this latest patch. But as far as this playthrough and how I'm playing the game, really all I'm using that for is to get my summon in. And so that's not really going to have an impact on my playthrough in this playthrough. So don't have to worry about that. But again, that's going to be temporary. And also as part of the patch notes, Patch's side quest has been expanded. So we're not at the end of what was previously the end of his side quest yet. So that doesn't have a direct impact right now on the game as far as this playthrough is concerned. But we will be covering whatever has been added to Patch's side quest when we get to that point in the game. So just wanted to point all that out to you guys. Those are the main things that could have an impact on this particular walkthrough. So I just wanted to make that clear to everybody who is following. So if you go back behind the castle, we get a Starlight Shard. So that's just what I'm picking up real quick. And there are multiple entrances to the castle. The entrance that I'm going to be taking is the one that's on this side of the castle. And we're going to work our way pretty systematically across. This is a poison pool castle, unfortunately, so we are going to be dealing with poison buildup. If you are careful, you can probably avoid it. But again, if you get hit with the poison, not the end of the world. You can always equip some of these naturalizing boluses that will counter the poison buildup. And if you've been following along, you should be able to craft them as well if you have some great dragonfly heads. And we've been picking up plenty of herba and cave moss along the way, so you should be able to craft some if need be. If I get poisoned, I'm probably not going to cure it. I'm probably just going to let it run its course like I normally do. I very rarely actually cure poison unless I'm in a desperate situation. In this spot where right where you get into the dungeon, there's a bunch of these zombie enemies. So down here, you see that is a poison pool. And there is some loot down there, so we're gonna go down there and basically, if I could pull up my map, I'd show you. Just kind of how we're gonna go about this place. So the poison pool is kind of segmented off. There are, I can't pull up my map yet. It's kind of divided by the castle walls, so to speak. So we just got some neutralizing boluses here. So yeah, this entire first layer is a poison pool. Up here is a poison pool, and there are kind of divisions in the castle walls that keep you from, exploring this whole area at once. But there is a lot of loot down there. So you see there's like this kind of rock wall that divides this part from this part. So we're going to have to drop down multiple times. The first time that we're going to drop down is over here. And I'm going to be fighting mostly everything along the way. Except we have these great Mirandas, and they're going to be doing Scarlet Rot. I'm just going to get in, get out as quickly as humanly possible. Yeah, because these things are going to be doing rot buildup, not poison buildup. I'm just going to get in, get my Smithing Stone 5, and hopefully not incur Scarlet Rot. Because Scarlet Rot is a more severe form of poison. So I'm going to have to wait until that cloud goes away before I try going back. Now they're... this is a bad situation. I'm going to try to run through and not get... Yeah, I'm going to get rotted. Ooh. Okay, whoa. Okay, that was nice. If I did get rotted, I would have used one of these. If I did get rotted, I would, since Scarlet Rot is more severe than poison, I would have used one of these preserving boluses to cure the Scarlet Rot. So that is a dangerous item to get. It's a Smithing Stone 5. You decide for yourself if it's worth the trouble or not. Another thing that was changed in the most recent patch is they increased the amount of stamina and FP that the earlier levels give you. So that will actually be retroactively effective. So you're basically going to get some free stamina and FP, which will be nice. One thing I would suggest is, since this is all poison, avoid rolling in the poison, because it will get the poison on you, and even if you get out of the poison, the buildup will still continue. If you have the poison like on your clothes, for example, if you do get it on your clothes and the poison's building up, you can actually reduce that buildup by using soap. And in here we have one of these revenant enemies spawning. I hate these things. Right when it spawns, I just go to town to get rid of it as quickly as possible, because these guys are a huge threat. We get a somber 5 over here from that. That was just some loot on the ground. So the quicker you can get rid of those things, the better. I just try to hit him as hard as I can right away before he even has control of his attacks, because he teleports, he poisons you, he has ridiculous combos that, in my opinion, are a bit overboard. But anyway, one of my least favorite enemies. So in here we have these perfumers. To the extent that you can sneak up on them, I try to sneak up on them, because they spam this perfume attack that has a ridiculous AoE, and it does a lot of damage. So this ladder that we're looking at is actually the pathway up to the next level. So when we're ready to do that, we're going to take that ladder up, but we have some exploring to do first. So we're not going to go up to the next level quite yet. And another one of these perfumers, there's a few of them in this level. They do have 1 heal each. So if you take enough of their health away, they're going to try to heal. You see that they have that back step, and then and then they just completely spam their perfume attack. They are hard to deal with. There's a spot later in the level where there's 2 of them at once, and 2 of them at once is darn near impossible to handle. So we're just making our way around the outside of the castle for now. And then we're going to handle the rest of kind of what's in the interior in that poison pool. And then we're going to go up that ladder that I just pointed out. So this dungeon is going to take up the whole episode. Let's see. There is an item down there, I think. But we're going to get that. We're going to get that later. Another perfumer. Smithing 5. So that takes us kind of to the end of this pathway. And we're going to get that item in just a bit. So we're going to go back to where we were, where we got to this section of the castle outer wall. And then we're going to carry on with our path. This is where we got up here. So this perfumer has de-aggroed, so I'm going to hit him with a charged heavy when he's getting up. There we go. Oof. Yeah, those guys can be a real nuisance. And there's a bunch of these guys that ring their bell and they shoot these little phantoms at you. So for now, we're gonna go over this way. And as I said, you can pretty well manage your poison buildup. The poison in this area of the level is shallow. There is going to be poison in a different area of the level that is deeper. So just FYI. And I think in this spot there are basilisks. Yes. So the basilisks, as I've said before, are going to try to shoot you with their death blight mist. So do be careful. There are a number of basilisks in this area of the level, and they are lethal. If you get this death blight, you're dead. Immediately, you're dead. So basilisks are, they don't appear like they'd be much, but they are among the most lethal enemies in this game. And for whatever reason, they like to put a ton of them all in the same location, all at once, and it is problematic. So mind your distance with these guys. Don't rush in and spam your attack when they're shooting their mist at you, because that's a recipe for disaster, unfortunately. Yeah, there's another one down there. There might be a couple of them down there. So I'm going to try to see if I can get a drop attack on this one. There we go. Yeah, ever since Dark Souls 1, basilisks have been the bane of my existence. They are always a serious threat wherever they appear. And in this spot, they are all over the place. I've killed probably 6 or 7 of them just in this one spot. But there is some loot here, so worth the trouble. Okay, so you see this kind of rock wall. This is a divider, so to speak. So it kind of segments off this area of the poison pool from another area. We're gonna go back. So in this spot, we were in front of this rock formation. Now we're gonna go behind it to another spot. I think this enemy over here dropped something. Let's see, gray violet. Okay. I'm gonna throw my lantern on just for some extra light. So up here, get a smithing stone 4. These guys, much easier to deal with than basilisks. I'll take these guys over basilisks every day of the week. Okay, so you see up there on that rock formation, that's a stone sword key. We will be getting that. It is a little bit tricky to get to, though. There is an intended way to get to that stone sword key, and there's also a, I'll call it a secret way to get to it that probably wasn't intended. It's at nighttime. I should have advanced the time of day. That's all good. We'll be all right. It's just gonna be a little bit harder to see than I'd like, but not a huge problem. And I am going to get that Side of Grace. I don't want to rest at it because I don't want to reset all the enemies that I've killed, but I will activate it in just a second here. So you see there's a drop off to where we just were. We climbed up that ladder to get here. I would love to rest at this to change the time of day, but I'm not gonna respawn everything that I've killed already. Another perfumer. Yeah, their backstep that they use to get some distance to cast their perfume. All right, that one I kind of had cornered, so. Gold rune 6. He came back up. There we go. All right. And there is a spot on the outside of the wall. There's a couple items. I'm going to drop down and ride my horse around. Because you can ride your horse outside of the dungeon, but inside you are blocked from riding. So I'm going to drop out here because there's a couple items around here that I'm going to pick up real quick. A few basilisks on that rock. So I'm going to pick this up. Some poison grease. And then I'm going to pick this up. Gold rune 3. Then head right back to where we were. Then we're going to carry on our pathway here. And it makes us dismount immediately upon getting in here. Okay, so we've killed pretty much everything on this first level. So that's the stone sword key. And it is slightly annoying with how dark it is now. Yeah, a bunch of zombies coming out of here. We got a glass shard, poison darts, a bunch of slugs. But something important over here. You crouch, you can get through here. Go up this way. And we have another painting. So we've actually been to this location before, the Champion Song painting. This is near where we actually killed the lightning dragon. And so we're going to be going back to get that painting, get the loot that we can get from that painting. So now that we've done just about everything on this first level, I am going to forward the time because it does the fact that it's so hard to see. Not only is it hard for me to see, but it's harder for you to see too. And I want everything to be crystal clear. So this is going to respawn everything that I've killed, but we're just about done on this first level. So I don't really care. Because when we get to the next part of the level anyways, the next part of this dungeon anyways, then, you know, the stuff on this first tier, I should say, of this dungeon isn't really going to matter as much. Oh, we can level up. I'm going to take my strength up. Oh, no, I can't level up yet. That's okay. We'll pass the time until morning. Yeah, it's just the start of nighttime. I don't want to do this entire dungeon at night. I want you guys to be able to see what the heck I'm doing. And I want to be able to see what the heck I'm doing. I'm going to have to kill this perfumer again because I'm going to show you how to get to this stone sword key. Got him before he could backstep. So the way that you're supposed to get the stone sword key is we climb up this ladder, we get to this section, you're supposed to be able to drop down. But you can actually platform up to it from here. So the way that you do that is just jump alongside this wall here. And then you don't have to sprint, but all you have to do is just hold the control stick in this direction and jump, and you should be able to get up here. And then you have to do that again. Hold the control stick in the direction of this rock and jump, and you should be able to get up. Now you see this platform kind of down and to my right. That's our next spot. And do a running jump from here to get there. So jump and then land on this spot and then do the same thing. Just hold the control stick forward and jump. And you should be able to get on top of this and jump right over here. And there's a stone sword key. I'll also, if in case you don't want to do that platforming I just did, I'll show you the intended way to get over there as well, just so you know. So now what I'm doing is I'm pretty much just gonna run past everything, but I'm gonna get back to that ladder that I showed you before, where you can get up to the next segment of the level. We have to climb up that ladder. So that's where we're headed back to. And I'm really just ignoring everything in here. I don't need to fight everything again. I'll kill this guy because he'll try to shoot me when I'm going up the ladder. So this is the way to progress through the level, is up this ladder. All right. Watch out for the zombie attack here. And these zombies, if you stand around them for too long, they will like pull themselves open and like spew a bunch of poison stuff at you. So that is a projectile that these things can shoot at you. So just be aware of that. I'm trying to take them out quickly because I don't want to get swarmed by them. So we're going to run all the way over here. So you can see below us, that's what we've already explored. Oh, I just got grabbed. Again, if you get grabbed, just mash all the buttons, and the effect, the grab attack will be a shorter duration. Got glass shards. And so this dungeon is technically optional in the game. For those of you going for platinum, though, there is the boss contains the boss will give you a trophy. This is a clean rot knight. These guys are tough, so definitely respect them. I was lucky there. Get a backstab. I'm going to do a charged heavy and then probably a special. There we go. Just stay on the offensive and don't give them a chance to attack you. So this in here is an important key item that we're going to need for a side quest later on in the game. So pick this up, the Valkyrie's prosthesis. You're going to need this for a side quest later on. So definitely grab that, especially if you're going for 100%. So there is a boss, I believe, that gives us a trophy. And then there is a legendary armament that you get from killing the boss. So that will be required for the legendary armament trophy as well. So definitely if you're going for 100%, this place is pretty important. We get some important stuff in here, directly and indirectly related to trophies. So just FYI, I'm just going to go ahead and kill this guy. He's not really in the way or anything, but okay, so now we're going to these guys I don't really care about. Now we're gonna explore down here. This poisonous area is a little bit deeper, so I'm going to equip a dagger because the quick step ability on the dagger will help navigate the poison down here. So I'm gonna throw a dagger on, and we've done this before where we use the dagger's quick step to help us boost through deeper poison or deeper lava, and it really does help. So there's an enemy down there on horseback. Not a huge threat. You'd think they'd be a much more powerful enemy, but really he's not that bad. Gold rune 6. Bunch of zombies spawning here, and then the horse is coming over. I got grabbed. Yeah, probably not best to fight this thing over here because I'm going to keep getting grabbed and then the horse is going to be after me, so. There we go. Whoop, I was locking onto the wrong thing. One hit the horse. There we go. Yeah, this horse enemy took 2 hits, so. Looks a lot more tough than you think it would be, but 2 hits got it, so. So there's yeah, he's opening himself up and he projectiles the poison there. Just watch out for that because that does a lot of poison damage. Oh, I got grabbed again. Dang it. Now I got poisoned. That's okay. I was hoping to avoid the poison, but did a good job of it to this point. Which means now I don't really have to, since I'm not gonna cure it, which means I don't really have to worry about my poison buildup anymore in this swamp. And there's a site of grace that we're gonna get to before too long, so not a big deal. There is nothing up there. You can go up there, but there's really nothing up there. So you see, now we're in the deeper portion of the poison swamp. So I'm gonna quick step until we get to enemies. Very useful ability. Take advantage of it. Don't think there's anything up here on this roof. Yeah. All right, smithing stone. This ladder does not progress us through the level, but there is some loot up there, so we are going to take it. However, before doing that, I'm going to unlock this site of grace in case I die. It'll be a much shorter way back. So all you do not go up there yet. Just don't do it yet. We'll get there in a minute. But up this ladder is the next site of grace, so we're going to unlock that. So just in case I die, it is a much shorter run back to our current location. I'm not going to rest at it because I don't want to respawn everything, but I will unlock it. Just make our lives a little bit easier. I don't think there's anything over here, but I'm going to double check. I think there's a few zombies and that's it. Yeah, it is a quicker way back to our ladder though, so at least there's that. All right, so I mentioned before there's a spot with 2 perfumers in the same location that we're about to hit that spot up, but before we do the 2 perfumers, we're going to do 1 perfumer as a warm-up. He's kind of backed himself into a corner, so as soon as he stops spamming his attack, I'd love to get some hits in. Yeah, ugh. Like the level of spam that some of these enemies can do, it's just, sometimes it gets on my nerves, but we will deal. All right, so we got perfume bottles, and this drop down right here, we were just there a minute ago. We killed a zombie right here at that wall. So this is the upper level. The way that you get up here to this upper level is by going up that ladder. So the intended way to that stone sword key is you're supposed to drop here and kind of platform across. I think the way that we did it is actually a little bit easier. And then, of course, if you were to do that platforming now, then we'd wind up on the other side. We wind up down the ladder. And so it's just much easier to do it where we did it, in my opinion. But that is the normal way to get to that stone sword key that we got. So what we're going to do now is this is the double perfumer. I'm going to try to see, it's a double-edged sword here. If you go this way, you can get a sneak attack on one of them and do a critical. If you do it the other way, you I bet you it'll get both of their attention anyway. So I was going to say you could pull them one by one or one-on-one, but I think if you try to hit one of them and get them over, it's going to get both of them. So quick damage is the key. So you saw there, I basically got my critical attack and then immediately followed it up with my special. And then that allowed me to kill them before they were able to even kind of get in position. So over here, there's a smithing stone 5. So you can avoid this entire encounter with the dual perfumers if you don't want that smithing stone 5. That's really the only thing you have, the only motivation you have to even do that. So I'm going to jump over here. And so the reason why I told you not to go up these stairs earlier is because there's a mounted ghost enemy. But once you get on top of these stairs, there's a royal revenant that's going to spawn. Those royal revenants are the enemies that I said I don't like a lot because they hit really hard. They teleport. They spew poison. I'm actually going to aim this manually and try to kill this guy because I do not want him fighting me when I'm fighting the Royal Revenant, because that is certain death. You got one hit left. Oh, nice. I don't care though. I'll fight you straight up right here. So once we go up these stairs, the Royal Revenant's going to spawn. If I'm going to try to kill him before he kind of gets going. If I don't, honestly, the easiest attack of his to punish is his poison attack, because that's the only time that he stops moving for like a second. So yeah, because he spawns too far away. I was gonna try to jump up and get a Bloodhounds. So he's way too erratic and moves way too fast to get like normal hits on. You see how he teleports? But we're right there. Let's see. I can get a Bloodhounds on him. And his poison attack, you can get if you go around him, he sits still for just a second, and that allows you to get a hit in. Otherwise, he teleports. He moves really fast. It's hard to hit him. You get 3 Rot Grease over here. That's basically what he's guarding, and that's the extent of the loot you can get over here. So again, decide for yourself if that is worth it or not. That is a very tough encounter that actually went way better for me than I expected, because normally I do struggle with those guys quite a bit. All right, so up this ladder, if you remember, we unlocked a Site of Grace up here, and this is going to take us on the pathway to the boss. The boss is pretty tough, but pretty manageable with the summon. So I'm going to go in and rest, because everything that we just did just now, we're not going back to that spot. So we're just going to be going to new territory, so respawning the enemies isn't going to matter at this point. Let's see, I need a couple thousand more runes for a level up, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's not quite enough. All right. And honestly, let me check my stats real quick. So since I have Marika's what's it called? Radagon Scar Seal equipped. My strength is at 39 right now. So one more point into strength will get me to 40, which will allow me to wield the Grafted Blade Sword. I'm not going to be able to wield it quite yet. For one, I haven't upgraded it. And for two, it is a bit heavier. So I will be at a heavy load if I put it on right now. So that means I'm going to put some points into endurance after this. So putting this at 37, since I have the Radagon Sword Seal equipped, it gives me a +3 on strength. So I'm effectively at level 40. So I'll be able to wield the Grafted Blade Sword, which I might start using a little bit once I can carry that level of weight. Because I'll show you real quick. Right now, the Bloodhound's Fang weighs 11.5. This Grafted Blade Sword, which I can carry now, I can wield it, weighs 21. And you see over there that it puts me at heavy. So I'm probably going to have to either, when I want to use it, I'll either have to equip a talisman that increases my carry capacity, or I'll just have to put some points into endurance to increase my carry load. So over here is the ladder. That's the progression. I'll talk to this ghost real quick. Why not? House Mariah's is ruined. Just deserts for falling that served Harpy. No surprise that guilty Cretan took the castle and our storied sword. So that storied sword, that's our legendary armament that we're after here. And that will be required for the legendary armament trophy once we get it. Couple dogs up here. Never underestimate the dogs in this game. I'm just checking for loose loot up here. So in here, there's going to be some enemies, and there's one of these like crossbow guys that shoots the exploding bolts at you right here. So watch out for him. He is a bit of a more difficult enemy. And his exploding crossbow bolts do hit really hard. All right. So that ladder we just saw, we're actually gonna climb up to the roof. This is not progression, but this will take you to some loot up here. So we get the Perfumer's Cookbook too. And this, wall is opened up, but all it does is it takes you to the outside. You see there, we got our Starlight Shard there kind of at the beginning. Let's see, so that's it for up here, I do believe. You can look down on that horse enemy who is respawned because we rested. You can just drop down there. You won't take damage. It's not far enough of a fall to take damage. Get the dog and hefty beast bones. So on this bridge is another Clean Rot Knight. Very tough to kill. We'll get him. You can kind of cheese him a little bit since he's far away. You can get some mighty shots off on him. That's what I'm gonna do just to get his health down before he approaches us. And he does have projectiles that he shoots. I don't want to kill him with mighty shots. At least I do want to engage him. So he has those projectiles that he shoots. I want him to come down here. The reason why, well, I'll fight him. I just don't want to fall off the bridge. That's what I'm afraid of. But I had him at half health, and I got a good jump attack on him. So, anyways, yeah, don't fall off this bridge. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that'll be death. So, watch your step. So up here, I think there's another crossbow exploding guy. Nope, one of these. Hey, there he is. Gold Firefly we just picked up. And there's the exploding crossbow guy. Yeah, those crossbow bolts will really pack a punch if one of them hits you directly. All right, there's another Clean Rot Knight. There are some dogs up here that you should probably take out first so you're not fighting dogs and a Clean Rot Knight at the same time. So he's out here. There are dogs down that path further down, so I'm going to take him on over here where I just killed the dog already. And another one came over. Dang it. Oh, they're all coming out, man. Come on. But fortunately, I was able to get the kill. Yeah, before getting that Clean Rot Knight's attention, it might be a good idea to try to snipe the dogs with your bow. They're not fighting all of them at the same time, which is kind of a recipe for disaster if you're not careful. So nothing over here. But there is a ladder straight up to this spot from here. This is a shortcut. So now, if we were to die, we would respawn at that site of grace over there. And since we kicked this ladder down, we have a shortcut to this rooftop. So it cuts out a decent chunk of what we just did. But it didn't really matter because, if we're going up this ladder, we're about to fight the boss. There's actually a statue outside this boss room that will respawn you right at the Statue of America. So, I mean, that shortcut is, could be helpful, but, here's our statue. We're going to respawn here if we die to the boss anyway. So what I would suggest is this boss is very tough. He hits hard. He has some ranged attacks that basically span the entire room that we fight him in. So I would suggest summoning. So with my nerfed flask, I'm going to have to summon like immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the flask, walk in. I've got 5 seconds. Unfortunately, this nerf is not permanent, but... Oh, it already went away. Wow. Dang. Okay, well, I'm going to attempt to solo him. And I still have my bubble. I forgot to put my main... So you see how his sword, like, he has like a telekinesis effect on it? And so that's what makes him so hard, is that his sword, he can basically teleport across the whole room. And that's his grab attack. Dang it, I tried to dodge away from it, but I got hit by it. I have soloed this guy before, but he's pretty tough. He is tough to solo. Just if nothing else, because of the range that he has on those telekinesis attacks that he does. I'm almost definitely going to die here. I'm just chugging my flasks. Oh my, I was hoping my bloodhounds would dodge the grab. Dang it. I'm dead. That was a valiant effort. But yeah, that nerfed flask, man. And fortunately, they have said again, they've said that nerf was unintentional and they're gonna fix it. But I'm gonna have to pop the flask inside the room and then summon. It's gonna be kind of the answer. I do have some runes on the line here, but if I lose them, it's not the end of the world. So fortunately, we do respawn right here outside the boss door. So I'm gonna do flask right now, and then summon. Oh, that's why I can't summon. Because in the last episode, I replaced my cerulean tier with the bubble in that dungeon with the chariot, so I could absorb a chariot hit. That's what it was. Look at that. He's like, that range, man. That range is, it's ridiculous. So I am going to have to go back to the site of grace to, so that ladder we kicked down is going to come in handy. To redo my flask concoction. Because I did put the bubble on because of that chariot in the last episode. That's right. So I'm going to replace, here we go, cerulean hidden tier. I was like, why is I couldn't figure out why my summon was not working. So here's the ladder we kicked down. And I did not get my runes back just now, so those runes were gone. But I don't think I had too many of them, so not a huge deal. And the ladder is, or the elevator, I should say, is up. So also not good. There it is. Just gonna run to it. Okay, this should go significantly better. And I should be able to pop the flask outside the room. I should have enough time to get the summon. Because I have 5 seconds. So here we go, I can summon, yeah. Yeah, I have soloed this guy. But he is really tough to solo. Just because of the insane range that he has. But yeah, if you let your summon get the aggro, then you can get some pretty good attacks in. Oh man, his sword hits so hard, and just the fact that he has that telekinesis, man, makes him really tough. Yeah, my runes were gone. Oh well. So you see the difference having a summon can make. Still got hit by the grab attack, though, but that's fine. Ooh, he was not having that. There we go. All right, so we got the trophy for killing Elmer of the Briar. We got the Mariah's Executioner Sword and the Briar Great Shield. So let's take a look. Where's the Mariah's Executioner Sword? There it is. So, storied sword of House Mariah's, the family of executioners who presided over the Shaded Castle, one of the legendary armaments. So yes, this goes towards our legendary armament trophy. And of course, we got a trophy for killing the boss. So, if you're going for all trophies and achievements, make sure that you do this. Do not neglect. And I don't have enough to level up because I lost my runes that I had before, but that's okay. That's just fine. We're gonna do okay. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. In the next episode, we're going to basically wrap up the rest of the Altus Plateau. So take care of this area. And then after that, we're going to be going in. We're going to be doing the capital. So that's going to be the next major area that we're gonna tackle. And it's going to be probably 3 to 5 episodes just in this area because this area is massive. But it's a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to taking it on with you guys. So anyways, thanks y'all so much for watching. Hope you found this helpful. Hope you found this whole guide valuable, and really appreciate all of you guys that are watching these videos. Take care, everybody, and I'll see y'all in the next one.